In a quiet palace perched above the crystalline waters of Lake Albano, just 15 miles southeast of Rome, a man in white stands at an open window, breathing in the cedar-scented evening air. The palace is Castel Gandolfo, once the beloved summer refuge of popes, bustling with Swiss guards and gardeners, choirs and visiting pilgrims. For more than a decade, its corridors have echoed only with memories. Its marbled salons have gathered dust. Until now. On July 6th, Pope Leo XIV, history's first American pontiff, will cross the threshold and bring the residence back to life, resuming a tradition his predecessors set aside. And as the shutters swing open and sunlight pools across the floors, his arrival will signal more than a seasonal getaway. It will be a statement. It will be a strategy. A summer retreat that doubles as a roadmap for a church struggling to breathe the same air. A different kind of pontiff. Leo was elected on May 8, 2025, inheriting the tiara of a global superstar. Pope Francis, Latin, gregarious, reform-minded, captivated the world for 12 dramatic years. But he also left Catholics internally bruised, polarized, uncertain. Enter Leo. Insiders call him prudent, methodical, attentive. They speak of a man who listens where others declaimed, who studies where others sprinted, more chess grand master than field general. He once trekked Andean villages as a missionary priest, spent nights beneath corrugated tin roofs, prayed the rosary with quinoa farmers. He only joined the Roman Curia in 2023, a late arrival, largely unknown. 2 years later, white smoke named him Pope. His mission, not revolution, but reunion. From the outside, Leo's first moves appear almost cosmetic, yet Catholics attuned to symbolism hear them like cathedral bells. The red mozzetta is back, that short crimson cape clasped around papal shoulders for centuries. It whispers continuity, a seamless thread to Benedict, John Paul, Pius, and beyond. The Apostolic Palace, the historic papal apartment Francis famously deemed too regal, will reopen as Leo's home after renovations. Some call it nostalgia, others call it rightful stewardship of a living heritage. Castel Gandolfo, left dormant by Francis, is being revived as a place of rest, governance, and prayer. A ghost of papal history becomes a beating heart once again. No doctrines change, no decrees are issued, yet each gesture invites Catholics scattered across ideological fault lines to remember who they are and where they came from. Since his election, Pope Leo has delivered homilies of encouragement and general audiences of blessing, but no lightning rod statements, no surprise synodal edicts, no reshuffling of high-ranking cardinals. He has preferred to walk the halls, to shake hands, to learn the names of the people who make Vatican City hum. He is a presence that does not impose itself on others, observes a professor at the Pontifical Gregorian University. Less show, more substance; less personality, more papacy. Where Francis redrafted entire dicasteries overnight, Leo offers slow medicine, relationship before renovation. In his very first meeting with the Curia, he disarmed decades of tension with 10 words. Popes come and go, the Curia remains. The sentence fell like cool rain on parched soil. A workforce once chided for spiritual Alzheimer's under Francis now feels seen, steadied, rehabilitated.
Some Vatican insiders call it hug therapy. Others call it the return of trust.
Equally notable are the lines Pope Leo has quietly redrawn in the sand, lines that, for many faithful, offer overdue clarity. Priestly celibacy, reaffirmed. Marriage, declared once more to be a sacramental union between one man and one woman. Sexual abuse, a zero-tolerance stance articulated without euphemism. Critics of Francis long argued that pastoral flexibility blurred doctrinal edges. Leo appears intent on sharpening focus without dulling compassion, rebalancing rather than backpedaling. For Catholics whiplashed by cultural upheaval, the effect feels like anchoring a ship in rough seas. Before he wore white, Cardinal Leo criticized U.S. immigration policies with prophetic bluntness. As Pope, he has opted for measured silence, speaking of social justice in universal tones rather than partisan soundbites. Yet silent does not mean still. In June, he phoned Vladimir Putin, urging a gesture that favors peace. He renewed appeals for de-escalation in Gaza, threading diplomatic needles with pastoral care. The style is discreet, the substance bold. Peacemaker, not provocateur. Historian Charles Mercier calls Leo's opening months a symbolic rebalancing. The goal is not to cancel Francis or canonize the past. It is to stitch together a church frayed at the seams. Progressives and traditionalists, charismatics and institutionalists, social activists and doctrinal guardians. By restoring external symbols, Leo buys interior breathing room, space for genuine reform that won't feel like a rupture. And now the Pope boards a humble Vatican sedan, rolls through ancient stone gates, and ascends the hills toward Castel Gandolfo. 2 weeks of silence, gardens, and evening vespers await. But this is no idle holiday. Files travel with him, dossiers on vacant dioceses, financial deficits, abuse cases, all awaiting prayerful discernment under the summer sun. Observers believe that when Leo returns to Rome, Phase 1, listening, will close. Phase 2, leading, will commence. Where Francis brought the Church into the streets, Leo may bring the Church back to itself, uniting what was divided, dignifying what was dismissed, leading not with a microphone, but with a shepherd's staff. This summer, the world will rest, the Pope will pray, and, if his strategy holds, the Catholic Church may begin to breathe again.